Class 8, Chapter 5, When People Rebel, 1857 and After. Uh, in this image, you can see some sepoys and peasants gather forces from the revolt that spread across the plains of North India in 1857. Nawabs lost their powers. That means Nawab starting losing their powers. The power of kings and nobles begin to be lost from the middle of the 14th century. Both their powers and honor were ending. So many local rulers spoke with the company to protect their interest. Like example, Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi wanted that company to be the king's adopted son after her husband's death. And also Nana Sahab, adopted son of Peshwa Bazirao II, also requested the company to give him his pension after his father's death. But the company refused it. The company even began to plan how to bring Awadh was one of the last territories to be annexed in 1801. A subsidiary alliance was imposed on Awadh, and in 1856 it was taken over. Governor General Dalhousie declared that the territory was begin misgoverned and British rule was indeed to ensure proper administration. The company even begin to plan how to bring the Mughal dynasty to be end. The name of the Mughal king was removed from the coins by the company. In 1849, Governor General Dalhousie announced that after the death of Bahadur Shah Zafar, the family of the king would be shifted out of the Red Fort and given another place to Delhi to reside in. In 1856, Governor General Canning decided that Bahadur Shah Zafar would be the last Mughal king, and after his death, none of his descendant would be recognized as king. They would just be called prince. Now let us see that what was happening with the soldiers and peasants. In the countryside, peasants and zamindar resented the high taxes and the rigid methods of revenue collected. Many failed to pay back their loans to the money lenders and gradually lost the lands they had till for generations. The Indian Sipo in the employ of the company also had reason for this discontent. They were unhappy about their pay, allowances, and condition of service. Some of the new rulers, moreover, violated their religious sensibilities and beliefs. Did you know that? In those days, many people in the country believe that if they crossed the sea, they would lose their religion and caste. So when in 1824 the Sipo were told to go to Burma by the sea route to fight for the company, they refused to follow the order. Though they agreed to go by the land route, they were severely punished, and since the issue did not die down, in 1856 the company passed a new law which states that every new person who took up employment in the company's army had to agree to serve overseas if required. So Sipo also reacted to what was happening in the countryside. Many of them were peasants and had families living in the villages. So the anger of the peasants quietly spread among the Sipo. So here we know that how anger quickly spread among Sipos and peasant. They are unhappy with their pay, allowances, high taxes, rigid method of revenue, condition of services, and many more reasons behind 1857 revolt. Not only any one reason. Okay. Response to reforms. The British believed that Indian society had to be reformed. They are think like that. Laws are passed to stop the practice of sati and the increase of remarriage of widows. English language education was actively promoted. After 1830, the company allowed Christian missionaries to function freely in its domain and even on land and property. In 1850, a new law was passed to make conversion of Christianity easier. This law allowed to Indians who had converted to the Christianity to inherit of property of his ancestors. Many Indians began to feel that the British were destroying their religion, their social customs, and their traditional way of life. They were, of course, other Indians who want to change existing social practices. You will read about these reforms in a Reform on chapter 7.